I was considering how I could come up with a short thought for today's video. So I thought maybe a short scripture is a good place to start. But this feels like an important weekend because this is the weekend of the coronation. So today's scripture needs to have some impact. It needs to say a great deal in a few words. Well, there are several that I found, but one stood out, and it stood out for a number of reasons. Firstly, it stood out because of some of the conversations that I've had with friends. Often in these conversations, I reflect that because of my faith, I do certain things. Because of my faith, I don't do certain things. And because of my faith, I can look back on my life and, I can see the way in which it has been shaped and the way that God has guided it. I also was thinking that I wanted this scripture on this special weekend of the coronation to speak to Christians as well as those that are just checking it out. Could I even come up with a scripture that somehow covers all of those things? On top of all that, could it be easy to remember and something that we could all apply to our lives? But before I read today's scripture, the one that I've chosen, I wonder what you would say. What would you come up with? Can you think of a scripture that's short, easy to remember, speaks to Christians and non-Christians, bears some relation to the coronation, and can be applied to all of our lives? Maybe give it a thought. I wonder what comes to mind. Well, here's mine. It comes from Isaiah 25, and it says, "Lord, you are my God. I will exalt you and praise your name, for in perfect faithfulness you have done wonderful things, things planned long ago." There's so much in this scripture that can be unpacked. But I love the opening few words, which I think say a great deal. Lord, you are my God. 5 words that I believe can change the outlook of our entire lives. Lord, what a start. You see, Lord is a definitive term. Just that one word says a great deal. You see, it's talking about a king, but not just any king. It's the King of Kings and the ruler over all. And we have a new king, and the coronation will take place this weekend. But this passage starts with the word Lord. And the use of that word recognizes that he is sovereign. Do you know he's sovereign over the affairs of the lives of kings as well as ordinary people like me? But notice the connection. You see, it doesn't just say, Lord, you are God. It says, Lord, you are my God. This is a really important thing. And I believe those few words can change a person completely. You are my God. And when we know that truth, when we say those words, you are my God, everything changes. Maybe it's a situation that occurs and it catches you off guard. And suddenly you have to respond. And those words, Lord, you are my God, it changes things. Maybe someone says something about you. Maybe it's something negative, and that often happens. Lord, you are my God. Changes how we feel about what they've said. Maybe we don't know the outcome of a situation. Maybe we're waiting for some news, and it might be good news or it might be bad news. Lord, you are my God. Changes how we consider the unknown. In fact, in every aspect of our lives, if we reflect and apply those 5 words, everything is different. So perhaps this weekend, we have the coronation of a new king, but we can also be reminded of the King of Kings, and many of us call him Lord, and so can you. And today's scripture, that when we say it with sincerity, can change our lives completely. Lord, you are my God.